You're making it harder for her to do her job when you do that.
You end up with this nice little blurry like insert every once in a while.
Bloop.
Bloop.
Just
Yeah.
random.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, close enough. We're good. The hair's making me mad. It's fine.
It's fine. But on the bigger note, happy threshing day! I have my wing leader jacket on, which is backwards for you, and
I was like, what are you talking
my shirt.
about?
It's October 1st. It's threshing day. Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought it was like a military thing because I'm
Oh.
like, wait, did something happen? I mean, I know like we're gonna start getting rid of all the fat generals. So like
Right, right. I
I'm
mean,
like, is
you're
that what
right.
we're talking
The irony of the timing. That's a good
about?
point. Yeah. No, but it's threshing day, so October 1st, no matter what day that it lands on, you go and you either get eaten by a dragon, cooked by a dragon, picked by a dragon, or shunned completely. Those are your only options. So,
Oh, I love it. You're hilarious.
but I haven't
ah,
had a chance to show you guys my jacket. So, I'm gonna here it is. See? I was going to do a whole thing because I got to go to Fourth Wing Day at the Red Sox game in Boston. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. I recommend it for
oh.
everybody. It was
What a way to get men's like women to go with their husbands at a baseball game.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I love baseball, so I'll just like I'll go because I love baseball, but
yeah,
for women that don't, I guess.
yeah. And there was one couple who he proposed. Like he did it up on the jumbotron and everything. And of course all of the girls are like, "Yay!" like huge because he was wearing his wing leader jacket and I think she had on like some custom shirt and so of course with all the fans there it's just like huge and exciting and there were a lot of guys we were supposed to go with um with all it was supposed to be me and my friend Becca and our friend Amy from Japan and our husbands and then
Oh,
probably the kids and then Zoe was going to take care of all of the kids like back at the Airbnb while we were doing our thing and four of the six being active duty military didn't end up working in our favor. So only two of the six got to go. And
mm,
we still got Amy her jacket, but I had to sell the other tickets, which I could have kept them. And looking back, I think it's possible that I still could have gotten the jackets for the guys because I had paid for them. So like they had more than enough jackets. And when I sold the tickets, that didn't transfer
transfer.
over
Mm.
because you had to buy it like through the link, which was totally fair. Like I completely understand why they did it. Um, but I kind of wished like in later that I'd realized that and I'd gone ahead and just gotten their jackets too. But it's
Mm.
okay. The books were really cool. They had these like I don't know what size. They would have been like 100 times the size backdrops of each of the books that you could like
That's
take
cool.
pictures in front of.
Hmm.
Um, and then she did a surprise question answer.
Oh, that's cool.
But I was in line and I was actually in a Zoom meeting during all of this stuff. And so
Oh man.
I like had one headphone in and my camera turned off and trying to like listen and my friend Becca was literally like just leading me around almost by the hand, like wherever it was that I needed to go. And I was just like standing in line for pictures and whatever it was that I needed to do. And then she was just like, okay, this is where we're going next. Um, because I actually had to speak during the meeting too, which was fine. Like she had told me that I didn't have to be there, but I really felt like I needed to explain the thing instead of having somebody else explain it for me. But
Yeah.
it turned out good. But her Rebecca did an impromptu surprise question answer. And somebody, okay, spoiler alert, Oh, I can't tell you because you wait, yeah, you finished. You finished the book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All right.
finished it. I
Spoiler
don't remember
alert.
very much of it, but I
That's okay.
finished
This
it.
is about the ending though. So spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't read the end of Onyx Storm. It'll take about 10 seconds. So skip ahead by 30 seconds. You'll be fine. Ready? Spoiler one, two, three, go away. Somebody asked how if like what their wedding would look like. Like what and we're like if they were to have a wedding what would it look like? And she said, "Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and find out." So, I kind of feel
Hmm.
like maybe we'll get a back in time of 12 hours. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. Like, I expect maybe there'll be a wedding, but I also am hoping that either she can get her own memories back or like we'll get a,
Yeah.
a backwards view of that. Um, but yeah, I didn't end up making it up there for that because I didn't really feel like that was a fair thing when I was in the middle of the meeting to try and like track down. So there's a few people who posted videos on Instagram if anybody wants to see it, but there will be spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, don't go find the videos. Um,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, so why was it a Boston Red Sox? Is she like a fan, or is this just like something that their media team was like, "Hey, let's do this"?
in this case, I think it was just their media team. So a lot of
Okay.
the general sports, like across maybe not, obviously not the NFL, but like a lot of other sports do this. So the
Right.
Raven or not the Ravens. I'm sorry, Orioles. The Orioles. The so we have I, for everybody that doesn't remember, hi, I'm Katie. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in Maryland, where I live next to the Orioles and the Ravens. And so we have the Orioles, and then we also have one of their farm teams, um, like the same distance, the opposite direction. Both of them will do theme days, and they'll
Mm.
have special. You can come out and do cosplay. They'll have special giveaways if you buy tickets through certain links, whatever. So I think a lot of them do that. And then I didn't even look at the date because I knew couldn't go. Um, the one of the Colorado hockey teams, Avalanche, the Avs, they're
Mm.
doing a theme day for Fourth Wing also, or did it? I'm sorry to whoever is listening. I knew I couldn't go to that one, so I didn't pay attention to the date if it already happened. But they were giving out like hockey jerseys, sweaters, um, and that had special stuff on those. I don't know if they did a special book. The Red Sox had, if you got the VIP, um, which didn't give you like a book signing or anything, you just got a book. And it was all red and white. It's pretty cool looking. I'm sure they're on eBay somewhere for some insanely ridiculous cost. I haven't looked because they were cool. I saw them in person, but I'm not about to pay whatever it is that secondhand people want to sell them
Yeah.
for and afterwards. I do know some people were buying their husbands tickets just to get two books so that they could sell one. Like, I don't blame you, but also it kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
um
Yeah. The Savannah Bananas were here playing, and tickets were like 35 bucks. They're super cheap, but so many people went and bought them right away, and then were price gouging for like $200 to $400 a ticket.
I bet that's insane.
Yeah.
That's
I'm like,
nuts.
come on, way to screw it up for the people who really want to
Right.
go.
That is crazy. Um
Yeah.
and I had hoped, I'd actually tried for my tickets. I tried all the bookish communities close to me, like the military spouse ones and the ones that are right around Fort Meade, to see if anybody wanted the tickets. I was like, you can have them. Like, they come with all the perks. And so the three
Hmm.
guys that ended up buying the tickets from us didn't have a clue what was going on. When Rebecca walked out onto the field before they announced her, but she just kind of like walked across and we're all like freaking out and like yelling at her and she's sitting there smiling and then she goes out there and they make an announcement as to what she's doing and they're like, "What is happening?" And I had to like explain to them what it was and why they were surrounded by people wearing these wing leader jackets or like dragons on everything because they didn't buy the tickets for that purpose. They bought them because they wanted to go to the game.
Yeah,
Um,
that's funny.
but possibly the craziest thing was the line. Have you like Fenway Park is awesome, but it's big, right? And we
Hmm.
had to go in. If you look at it from Google View, we were supposed to enter at gate C. And our end of the line, by the time we got to the end, because we were dropped off at gate C by our Uber, we had the line was wrapped around the edge of the building, and we ended about 50 yards from gate B. And then the line ended up going farther back and wrapping again around the backside of the next corner before they
Hmm.
finally opened the doors. It was, I mean, everybody was cool. It was one of the calmest lines of like people who weren't like getting upset and being angry and that I've been in that's that long. So I was
Hmm.
really happy to see that like the book community could handle it and like be polite about it. Um, for something that was I truly don't think that they realized it was going to be as big as it was. I don't
Hmm.
think they did. I mean, they had enough tickets, but I just like whether she did or not, I don't know that the the because they had people out there with signs that were like ask me questions and when you tried, they were like I don't know. They're like we didn't think we the helpers were like we didn't think it was going to be this big and like, well, it was, and we all showed up, and if they do it again, we're all gonna show up again. Um, so yeah, it was fun. It was a blast. I wish everybody could have gone with us because it was a good time. Got awesome jacket out of it.
Is it warm?
It is. It's pretty thin. Um, so like it's a good change of seasons jacket.
Cool.
And but it's also they're all fair somewhat like oversized. There's plenty of space to put a sweater on underneath it if I went to, or a full costume. This would probably fit over your flight leathers without any problems. So
It's hilarious.
I
Oh
loved
my
it.
gosh.
I loved it so much. It was so much fun. And
It's
Boston's
good.
beautiful. Have you ever been to Boston?
No, we stayed in DC and did like the Virginia and DC thing when we lived
Hmm.
there. We've talked about going and doing like a sightseeing of Revolutionary American sites like
Mm,
Pennsylvania. They did New York, obviously, so they saw a lot of those things.
right.
And then um, some Maryland, that kind of stuff, but mostly Virginia. I love Virginia. I was actually talking about it this morning. I was like, we could probably live there again. We really, really liked it that last year we were there.
Where did
First year
you
was wet, so I
where
don't
did you
know.
live?
We were in Falls Church. We were
Okay.
like 4 miles from the Pentagon. It
Okay.
was a great commute.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful. And the Blue Ridge Mountains are really beautiful.
Yeah.
But,
Boston, I would say we went the perfect day. It was the day after Labor Day, and there were like no tourists, and the weather
oh,
was
nice.
weirdly perfect. And I say that because both of us, we were sitting outside and we felt like it should have been inside with like artificial air, keeping it at that temperature. And yet it was just
Hmm.
like perfect.
Yeah,
You could wear jeans or you could not and be completely fine.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it's like here right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is like the Southern California locals' real summer because there are no tourists here right
Right.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love it.
Love it. Well, we didn't actually. I snuck in my time and day. We didn't sneak in your time and day. I just started us off with happy threshing. So would you like to sneak in your time and day?
I have to look at the thing. It's Wednesday, 10, now 15
Oh, good.
in California. And it is just beautiful. The sunset on Monday, we went an impromptu date Monday evening and watched the sunset at the beach. And it was just like the big red Japanese like sun. It was gorgeous and the sky was pink and purple and all the colors. And I just I love it here. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
I do
Um,
miss sunsets. I miss sunsets.
and like sunsets over the water.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But we're at that point where it's Do we stay or do we go? I don't know if it's because we're used to moving or if it's like California has gone a little bit nuts with some of their latest like bills that they've passed. If we want to stay or if we want to move. So there's nowhere else we want to live, but anyway,
Doesn't always
it's fine.
mean that it's the right timing to stay there, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're up in the air, but I mean, I guess that's just typical with military life in general, and we're kind of used to that, and so we're just trying to figure things out. But it's nice not being told where we have to live, but also it's like, well, it'd be kind of nice because then I don't have to make the decision
I
myself.
know, right? It's like that that decision of what is the next job? Where are we gonna go? There's a lot more put on your shoulders, and I'm not
Hmm.
really looking forward to that side of it yet. We're kind of getting, not exactly getting that right now. We're up for orders this coming summer, but it'll be probably a gap year. And so it
Hmm.
means if we move, it's probably a 10 to 11-month move and then another move after that. Um, and that puts Zoe in, at least if we'd moved, that would put her in 3 high schools. Um,
Hmm.
so we already are probably going to be doing 2 high schools no matter what, and she's okay with that. But I, it's also like, but do we really want to do 3 high schools? Like, it's really hard to
Yeah.
give you a chance to like settle and find friends. But she's terrified to not move again. Like, there's, all these kids who they want to maybe finish, and she doesn't want her next move to be to college because
Hmm.
it's the military way of life for her. She's just kind of in that, and she can't really see herself um, putting down roots in a single place forever. Like
Hmm.
now, like she just doesn't see herself doing that. And so I've, given her ideas of fine, if you want to work with animals, be a traveling vet, do something that allows you to move. Go do something that's specialized, like the vet chiropractors, or the
Hmm.
animal chiropractors, where you could go anywhere. If somebody needs you, you can go anywhere and
Hmm.
do it. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Right now, most of it is still up to the military, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, so, and this is something I was thinking we could talk about in our next episode since we are, entering the finance phase. And I guess we'll like backtrack in a minute, but I was thinking about our first episode being like military and education for children kind of focused. Um, because Emma literally just messaged me 5 minutes ago. She's working on getting her transfer stuff done. She's a California, when you graduate with a certain GPA, you get free community college for 2 years.
oh, that's
And then
cool.
yeah. And so she's had free community college for 2 years. So she's now putting in her transfer for next fall to go to a UC school. And with working all that, she's having to submit like her transcripts and all those things. And while we finished her senior year homeschooling here, Kadena, it's a DoD school um, in Japan. So it's on base, so it's American, but it's in Japan. So she's trying to figure out how to navigate like inputting that and not, she's having a really difficult time. So that is, something that y'all need to consider for high school
Yeah. Well, I actually
if
emailed.
Japan's.
Yeah, I emailed. We would like Japan to be an option, even for the 1 year. We have said, and
Hmm.
sorry to all family that are listening, you now will find this out. We have said we would make the 1 year move, because the likelihood of us coming back here is pretty high, but we
Hmm.
know how to do it, right? Like if we know we're only
Yeah.
going there for a year, we'll be long-term tourists,
Visitors.
right? Like
Yeah.
we're there, we know what we can leave behind, what we actually have to have, and then have a list of things we want to do while we're there. But what we're actually running into right now, she came home yesterday and said that one of her friend's parents had looked into it, and some of the electives at her current school may not transfer to a public school. She's
Yeah.
in a small private school that uses um, like a homeschool curriculum that's meant for schooling, like for schools.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with it or if it's the difference between the state level of requirements and the county level, because the kid who was talking about it is just moving to staying in the same county but moving to a public school in the county. So I don't know if it is something that just won't transfer because it's this county, or if it won't transfer at all. And that makes me wonder then, it's like, okay, then how would she be able to graduate with all of her credits from this high school and it all count if it won't transfer to a public school? I'm not quite sure how that goes. So I had to email the school today, be like, look, we're up for orders. I need to know what's going to transfer and what's not because that's going to hurt us. And I'd
Yeah.
wish I'd known that earlier just to try to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, colleges might accept more because colleges accept homeschool kids programs, things like that. So it could just be like the public school that, whatever the word is, area.
Yeah, she's just
Brian's not
nervous.
working.
That's all right, Brian. You can
He's
kick
out on
back on.
vacation.
Brian, vacation's over. Let's go. We got to get back
Mm.
into it. Um, I think her biggest concern actually is that she'd end up having to take PE every single year of high school because the first year won't transfer. It's so
But
cute.
yeah, and well, I guess obviously Amelia's not here.
Right.
And obviously we basically have recorded maybe 2 episodes in the last
Ah,
4 months. And it's because I wish I would have taken a picture. I have my big whiteboard calendar and it had September and then it had all of the days numbered out. And that was all that I got on the calendar for September because literally every day, not just every week, but every day, I have had something that is demanding of my time. And Amelia is off being a good friend with things demanding of her time. So Katie and I are going to try and just like start chugging along, just the two of us, and Amelia will join when we can because we want to do things. This whole podcast is to help others and just be there for others, especially when you're PCSing and you need
yes.
a familiar voice. But anyway, my September has been absolutely insane. It started that last week of August. We had 2 weeks or a week and a half of school and it was bliss and it was beautiful. We were on schedule. Everything was wonderful. And then the Marine Corps decided to screw with my life again in that. So I think we talked about the last episode that my oldest is engaged,
Hmm.
but I was waiting to like really announce it until they did. And then Marine Corps is messing with my life and Emma's fiance is suddenly going on a training mission for a couple months before his deployment that's upcoming in a few months. So he's going to be gone. And then it was calculated that if they got married before he deployed, they would actually be able to save, like, have a nice nest egg getting
For
married, which
sure,
is
yeah.
so smart. So they're like, all right, we'll get married before he deploys. And so we were like, okay, we have a couple months to like plan this out. And then the way everything worked out, when they like called to get everything scheduled, we had 3 days to
Oh
plan a
no.
wedding.
3 days. What more like military start to your military life is there than that? Like, here you
What's
go.
really oddly terrifying is how parallel it is to how Jeremy and I met and got married.
I know.
Other than the fact they knew each other longer and they were engaged a little bit longer than we were, um, how it all transpired was very similar. Even the deployment and where he's going, all of those things line up really terrifyingly. It's just crazy. And anyway, so in 3 days, we planned a wedding. And I have this phenomenal friend who's like, say the word and I'll be there to take pictures. And she's not just like a photographer, she's a beautiful photographer. She does such a great job that she was there, she was on it. She had 15 minutes from the time they walked out to sunset to get these
Wow.
photos.
They look great.
And they're phenomenal. And I think I only sent you the couple ones. So we've got some of like family and stuff too. So she had 15 minutes. So when Emma shared a couple of the photos on social media and family saw them, because oh yeah, I forgot to tell anybody. But I had 3 days, okay?
Right? Like, well,
But
sorry.
when family saw them and they're like, wait, what? You didn't
Sorry.
tell me? And you had this like big, beautiful wedding. And it's like, no, you had 3 days, 3 days to do it. We did it.
Yes.
They like, we made it work and it looked really beautiful. And it was in large part to my amazing friend who's a photographer that got so many photos and all the things. But yeah, so we'll still do a wedding and a big ceremony and things when he gets back from deployment in the summer. We just have to calculate and figure out what date to do so that he doesn't miss it.
Yes. Seriously.
Um, the wedding happened, and then our friends came into town after that, and like it's just been like a boom, boom, but like every week we've had something insane, and so that's why we've been MIA. Life has been hitting us all hard.
Hmm.
And so Katie and I are just gonna like trudge through, and Amelia will join when she can.
Yeah. What makes it really difficult is still the time. That's just why we still tell you guys the time and our locations because it's what makes or breaks every day when it comes to this. And nothing really breaks, I guess, so much as bends. It's what makes or bends our timeline by,
Yeah.
a month or two, but we figure it out. Um, and so yeah, we're here. We still send each other random videos through the day, but we're not sharing those with you because they're usually like up our noses or the kids are popping in and making random like faces while one of us is cooking dinner. It's great though. They're highly entertaining um to watch.
Or it's often the ceiling if it's
Or
in
the
my house because
ceiling.
I'll like walk
Yeah.
away from my phone.
Yeah. Or what did I do? I
Squirrel.
dropped you. I like dropped the phone the
Yes.
other day and I was like, "Whoops." And I'm pretty sure it ended up between my seat at some point in the car. I was like, "Well, my bad." But you can still hear me.
Well,
So,
yeah, and when we're watching them, it's like, oh, I'm sorry if X, Y, and Z, and it's like, dude,
I
I'm driving, I can't watch you.
yeah,
I don't really get to see your face
I
unless I
know.
go back.
No. Ah, so that's
Yeah,
a really fast rundown of all of that stuff. We
that's what
oh
we've been up to.
um I tried to figure out how to get back into whatever it was I last said. I'll just use that as it. All right. So that's what it is. And now we're going to say this is what we're doing right now. And what we're doing right now also breaks Brian, and that's Nutcracker because we're all doing Nutcracker.
I'm like barely doing it. Like, oh, I
Oh yeah.
I heard I
She
fought
literally
a
broke
mandolin.
herself.
I fought a mandolin and it won. But it's only like the skin. It just looks really bad,
Really bad.
like really bad. And it looked really bad when it happened, so much so that 2 hours, three, no, it was 5 hours after it happened, I must have like bent my finger or did something so that when I was walking upstairs, I left pools of blood and I didn't know it
Oh, jeez.
until I came down the following morning and
And
saw
all
them. And I
this
was like,
dry blood all over the way.
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I like walked Jeremy over and I'm like, look at this. And he's like, you're going to the hospital. I'm like, no, it was from last night. It's fine.
It's
I
fine.
just, because they can't do stitches. Like it's a
No,
piece of skin missing. Like it just like took off a couple layers. And anyway, and so it's not fun to work out with this,
I'm
I will
sure.
say. And it's oddly distracting. And the baby thought it was bread last night. So she like tried to grab it.
Ow.
I mean, she was like, I was feeding her bread, and then she was like, "Oh, this is more," and I'm like, "No, no,
Don't
no,
touch that.
they can't have that." Anyway, there's just a lot happening right now, and this added to that. But I had a point.
Nutcracker.
Yes, so I'm barely doing that. I have one. Abby's the only one doing it. Charlotte's only dancing jazz, and she's in tumbling now. So I only have Abby doing it, and I think she's gonna do the volunteering. So like then I like literally have zero parts to do. Oh, I guess they're both gonna volunteer, but that means that like you only have to volunteer for your family.
Right?
So I mean, I usually send in snacks, but don't have to do it.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it
I
is.
am doing a lot.
You decided to go in
I
and
know.
be someone else's brain and like do the whole studio shenanigans again.
I know, but I love it. I love my job so much. Like, and it's not because of like, it's just I love the people I work with. That, if you don't like the people you work with, it doesn't matter if you like what you're doing. It makes it really hard. But I love the people that I work with. Um, and right now, if anybody's listening, I need a woodworker. If anybody anybody in the DMV area is willing to donate their time, we have supplies. I have some magic that needs to be put into creation, and I would be very happy to talk with you if you want to have
I
your.
mean, you could do it.
I
You
could.
just have to find the
I
time.
could. So I actually talked to Wyatt. It's not even so much that, it's that I want to make sure that it can last as long as possible. And Wyatt
Yeah.
and I had a talk last night, and if I can't find somebody to do it, we do have a solution where we will build.
Hmm.
I just may not try to make it the full level of what I want it to be, so that in maybe next year we can find somebody who can do it and make it last a long time. So we'll get as close to that as
Yeah.
we can without like wasting supplies or going too far. Um, but we're going back to grandfather clock again, but this time it has to be made out of like sturdy stuff, not the cardboard that I used last time. Granted, it was pretty awesome, giant cardboard grandfather clock, but you can't put a person inside that one. Um,
Right.
Doll boxes, which we talked about. I have another one. I've got two more ideas on the doll boxes I'll talk to you about later. And then trying to recreate that throne if possible. Um, but I have to find somebody to do it. So come on, DMV area. Somebody be listening. You can help me out here. I need some help. It'll be so cool if we can make it work. I just got to find somebody to
Hmm.
do it. So, yeah.
I mean, have you hit up like local Facebook pages like to ask
Not
or
exactly. There's a woodworkers guild in Annapolis that I emailed, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. And they kind of do it where they like send emails out to each other, but if they don't wait to send the emails out until their monthly meeting isn't until next week. So I don't
yeah.
know if I'll hear before then. And then I basically just hit up every parent who just kind of chills by my desk for a while. I'm like, hey, do you know anybody who does woodwork? I have these things. So I've explained the ideas to multiple people, and they
Yeah.
all seem to have somebody that they can ask. It's just whether or not those people will be able to follow
Yeah.
through. So,
Man, days like this, you miss Rob because not only
seriously,
like was he
Rob.
talented, is he talented, but he's a parent, so those were the
Yes.
volunteer hours.
Yeah, right? And he just came up with it on his own. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out." And then it was fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
how did you do that? So, I know. I miss him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
He'll
okay.
message me occasionally and just like say, "Hey, what's up?" Especially during Nutcracker
Oh,
season.
I bet. I bet, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I know.
But
It's cool.
yeah, they're still there.
All right.
But I don't know. I mean, I do love Nutcracker, and it was really special in Japan. And I don't know how rep, replicable,
Yep, yep, that's
yeah,
close enough.
replicable. I'm like replicable. Oh, poor Brian, man. Anyway, how replicable that is. No, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, how much we can replicate that
There you go.
here. But I think that there are a lot of elements to it to make it unique and special, but it's special anyway. I mean, it's a fun holiday tradition.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
and it's a good reminder to all of you that aren't Nutcracker people, once you start seeing it, it's the end of the year already. Tomorrow's December 1st. So you should check out the
no,
post that I made because it's the
tomorrow
countdown.
is the Marine Corps birthday.
Yes,
The day
sorry,
after that,
is December 1st.
December 1st.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Lord, where did
Well,
this year go?
this year is 250th for the Marine Corps birthday.
Hmm.
It's really exciting.
It is.
It's gonna be
I want to go to the ball, but that's not going to happen, and I'm okay with that too because I have no time to do anything. My friend's like, "Oh, you need to come with me to a yoga class." I'm like, I have 0 minutes to spare.
right. I know.
None. Anyway, but no, I think so does pertain to us to a degree, sort of, but mainly because I kind of want to just like talk a little bit, if we can, about, first of all, they changed the name to the Department of Defense, the Department of War, which was actually the original
Yeah,
name
but
for
that
it.
was during war.
Right. But like, so if you follow along this train of thought with me here, this will
Oh,
like hold us
okay.
down to a
Well,
line.
we'll see. I'm not sold on this new name.
So it was the original name, and I kind of understand, like, as it was explained to me by the experts in my life. Um, we yes, we're defending something, but they actively go to war, right? So like I understand that, but taking in yesterday's account where they're going to be thrashing the generals, um,
I mean, honestly, they're threshing a lot more than that. It just
they are,
happened to be
they
that
are,
that's who was there.
but like I honestly, like, I foresee this to be a good thing because all it's doing is trying to strengthen our defenses and like our military forces. And I've said this before and I will say it again. And like, I'm not going to say that you can't be happy with whatever you've chosen for your life and your body type and whatever and decisions you've made and you have and you're comfortable with whatever, that's fine. However, there are things that show us that the outward appearance of fitness is not obesity.
Hmm.
And that obesity kind of indicates there is poor internal health. So when you have generals that are like leading troops and saying, like, I know what's best for you and this is what's best for the best fighting force, it's like, but do you though? But do you have like every good thing? Like, can you do the same thing? Can you lead troops? Like, can you physically lead them into battle? And like,
Right.
maybe they don't do that anymore, but maybe they should. Like, that's what George Washington did.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally on the front lines. And
Yes, but
so,
how
like,
old was George Washington when he was on the front lines as a general?
I don't know. Like,
He was not the age of our current generals, I'll tell you that.
but what I'm saying, like, there is a reason that 18 is like prime age for young men. And like if you look at how the Mossad does it and like the other like Koreans and they do
Right,
like these mandatory, and I'm not saying that they should do it mandatory because we're in America here.
right.
I think volunteer is optimal. But like if you have a fighting force and you want the best possible outcome to defend the security of your nation, then you should probably be able, like, you should be the fittest of the fittest. And people are like, well, where are you going to find these like great athletes? Like, okay, I'm not trying to like, oh, look at me kind of thing, but I am a stay at home mom who's been doing fitness consistently for 15 years. And five, 6 or 7, oh my gosh, I did not even mean to do that years ago. Um, I stop it, go away. I didn't mean to do it. It's
I mean,
literally in that time
you
frame.
did put the or between them, so I feel like there's a bit of a difference in what you did versus
This is true,
what
but my
everybody
kids will
else
do it
is doing.
regardless. Anyway, so about that long ago, my husband was in charge of however many Marines, and they were doing the fitness like thing, and they were all wearing their slacks. And he said, men and women alike, if you can get up there, I don't know if it was 5 pull-ups or 10 pull-ups in 10 minutes with your weighted vest on, then you get tomorrow off. Because like they're Marines, they should be able to do this.
Right.
I think only 3 out of like 50 were able to do it in 10 minutes with wearing their slack. And again, I'm not like this great athlete, but he came home and he tells me this, and I'm like, I could totally do that. He's like, it's not easy. And I'm like, no, I can do it. So I'm like mid to late 30s when I like I could do this. And he's like, it's hard. Like And I'm like, 10 minutes though. And I think it was 10 pull-ups in 10 minutes with the flak on. Like that's, I don't know how much weight, 50 pounds or something. I was able to do it. And that's not someone who trains to do that for a
Right.
living. That's just someone who like works out because that's going to give me the best like ability to take care of my kids and like
Right.
longevity of life. Like those are my goals. But if I was capable of doing that, then that kind of shows that there doesn't need to be a difference in standard. There just has to be a consistent standard. And if you meet that standard, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. I think that
And so,
I think what it comes down to though is that that standard needs to adjust, and it has in the past, and I think it should, needs to adjust according to what your job is. Now, that doesn't mean that the person who's sitting in here, like you and me, is allowed to not be able to do their pull-ups or not be able to do like whatever it is physically. Like they still need to have a body that is able to do a sprint, because if they're going to be in a building out in the middle of the desert that they have to run away from for whatever reason, they still have to be physically able to get themselves wherever and not rely on somebody else to do it for them. But there is a big difference between somebody who's going to be uh, patrolling using a drone and or sitting here in an AWAC even and doing, their part versus somebody who is infantry, right? Like there's
but if you look at it with
a
the Marine
giant
Corps,
difference.
all Marines are infantry. Like they're all
Right, but I'm not
riflemen.
talking, but even then we're moving away from that. And my husband is not him, because they're still keeping up with what they need to do, but the job itself is being moved away into a not what it was even 10 years ago, because it's
Right.
where the combat zone has changed. It's not always physical anymore. I agree with the combat standard, combat MOS standard like tests across the board. Like if you're going to be in these specific combat MOSs, you have to be able to do these things in order to keep yourself and everybody else around you alive, or to not
Mhm.
put them in danger because you can't do your part. But I don't necessarily, and I agree that I look out there at the gym here on this base that has all of the branches, literally every single branch is on this base, and I see them all at that gym. And there are people that I, being 1 year injured and working on a post-surgical run routine again, and dying doing it, not
Mhm.
completely dying, but not doing well, I could still go out and push myself through a 5K. These people cannot. And some of them also have injuries. Some of them do
Yeah.
not. You can't be in a military position and say that you are combat ready
Yeah.
in that regard. You're not. You're not combat ready. I don't care if your combat is behind the computer. If your computer is out in the
Yeah.
middle of a desert, or you have to go into a building to look at somebody else's computer and then you have to run away from that computer, you are not physically ready to do that. I don't care how good of a hacker you are. I don't care how good you are at whatever it is you do. If you can't get yourself in and out of that building
Yeah.
because you can't meet the standards, then there's something else wrong. Now, if there's a medical problem, and that's where we need to also, we're going to right around here, that's where we also need to make sure that we have the healthcare system. If we're going to say that we have the healthcare to support our active duty, we need to have it, because
Well, and
we
that
don't
kind of feeds
necessarily.
into a conversation that we've been having. Like, well, one, like to touch on what you said, like my husband said when he was talking to a couple of veterans about, they were like, kind of like, oh, whatever, like, that's messed up. And he's like, it's not. I was always underweight. And it's because I took my chicken and my water, and that's what I had every day. I didn't go to the bars and eat the wings and drink the beers. I didn't make those choices so that I could do this. Like, and
Well,
then
and
they were
if
like,
you are going to make those
oh,
choices, you have to make the other
personal.
choices too. Like you have to make
Yeah,
the
like
choices to offset.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all about balance. And like, I firmly believe in that because I love cookies and ice cream and stuff, obviously. And bread. I was eating the bread for soup yesterday and I just wanted more. But anyway, so it's all about choices and sacrifices. But the other conversation that this kind of leads into, and you were touching on it, we were having this conversation there. We've seen time and time again the VA system, and I mean the military healthcare system, but the VA system specifically fail
Yes.
our service members. That's the biggest joke.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to give you care. We're going to get you help. We're going to do this. They don't. And now that we're on the other side of it, we see that even more clearly. Like
Yeah.
one of our dearest friends, probably one of my favorite Marines that Jeremy was friends with when we met. Um, he literally died in the waiting room of a VA
That is,
because he was having a heart attack and they wouldn't bring him back in to see him. And he was 31, 32.
that is
And
ridiculous.
we're seeing all of these service members and they have these issues. There is the 22 push-ups a day challenge to think about those 22 service members that take their lives every day. Like it's a problem.
It's a
And it's
problem.
because they're like, here, we're going to teach you to do this thing that polite society is not capable of doing or taking care of. Like you're doing the hard thing. You're making that sacrifice. We're going to turn you into a war fighter and we're going to take care of you on the back end. But then they don't.
Then they don't. And I
Like
think with
that's
that,
the
it's
part that
like,
kills me.
why don't you just let them go somewhere else? Pay for it, like have all the
Because the
paperwork in
VA
the
system
world.
is a racket.
Well, they do this with
It's such a racket.
they do this with the active duty too. For
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt's ankle injury, the amount of time it took him to just be seen and
Mm-hmm.
like try, and then it's like once, okay, then you're gonna go do this thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
and you need to have this imaging, which is done by somebody else who comes in because we tell you we have full services, but we don't actually have it. We have to contract it out. It's like, okay, but I could have just gone to the people that my wife uses because they don't have full services here for dependents. They have like
Mm-hmm.
50% services or something like that, and then you have to drive to Bethesda otherwise. So
Yeah.
instead, they give us the option to use Johns Hopkins,
Yeah.
U.S. Family Health Plan. And if I'm in an area where it's Johns Hopkins school and Johns Hopkins everything, everywhere we are, you better believe I'm taking that. So we did it again. We did it last time we were here. We did it this time. We have access to all of their specialists for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you are in an area with all of this stuff, and just let your active duty go to those people. Like,
Yeah.
they're there. You already let your families do it, but they won't let the active duty do it. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's so beyond irritating. And this is why when people talk about trying to, and we're not going to go political on this. This is just a touch on, but this is when people are like, oh, look at European and their healthcare systems. I'm like, we actually have this technically. We have it in the military, and it works to a point, but it's not working enough to support the entire country. So as much as you want
Well,
this, it does not
yeah.
support itself enough in its current state to turn it over to the entire country because it would just collapse.
Well, and we have experience within this type of healthcare. I had a phenomenal pediatrician in Okinawa this last time, but for my care, I had to make literal complaints against this doctor, a couple of them, when I was receiving my OB care in Japan. They had a horrible woman saying terrible things on TikTok about being in the NICU in Okinawa, that she was removed because she like you that woman should never be around children, like the things she was saying on TikTok about these babies.
That's awful.
So you have this broad spectrum, and she was a civilian. Like they do have civilians that come in Okinawa because they are short staffed. But here's the problem that I have with like the military healthcare system. I think that the biggest problem is that they're like, well, we have our own doctors, come see them. And it's like, well, cool, 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 as Amelia would say. Cool,
Right.
cool, cool. You have these doctors, but really their job should be to like triage
Hmm.
and like care for people in the field with those injuries. Like let's think about the conscientious objector in Hacksaw Ridge. I forget his name. The Hacksaw Ridge is about him, the movie.
Yeah, but I just blinked out on it too.
I forget his name.
Oh crap. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Private Doss.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. So Private Doss. So you've got him. You can train to be like him and like take care of people then, And I get it, like you gotta have something to do in peacetime.
Hmm.
But how about we just do what all Marines do in peacetime and train?
Yeah.
And like maybe no, we don't have our own healthcare system. Maybe they train in, ERs and like that's where they do like a residency type of situation. I don't know. I like dumb little wife here, nothing, not wanting to do the things, but there has got to be a better way. And we've got to do a better job of taking care of the people who
Yeah.
literally sacrifice everything for the safeties and freedoms that we all enjoy. And
Yeah. I agree.
that's what it comes down to.
I agree.
It's annoying. It's
It is.
annoying.
It is. It is. Well, that went a little bit heavier, but now you guys are up to date on what has been happening, what's happening right now, and how we feel about what everybody else is doing. Anyway, we are, as you can tell, we're just
Tangents
we're just
everywhere.
everywhere. This is, man, why didn't we
I mean,
keep our tangent counter?
I could have gone 16 different ways, but I kind of focused it and tried to weave it
I
into
know.
current events and stuff.
I know. I think we did a great job with that, though. I do. Oh, all right. Well, we are officially into
Anyway,
the fall season of all the fall foods and all the things. So, as a final bit, what are you most looking forward to coming into the new fall season? Whether that's food or activities or whatever. What are you most looking forward to?
I just love the holiday seasons. I really do. Just like the enjoying making foods and things with my family.
Yeah,
Like I mean, I love food, so I do love fall foods and the pumpkin things. We are having pumpkin pancakes pretty consistently around here
I need
because
to
I
make
always
some.
have to have pancakes on hand. They're really good. Um, Pumpkin steamers and hot cocos have been frequent requests. I finally perfected my chocolate chip cookie recipe. So I'm basically making those all the time for my sugar addicts. But um, I'm really excited. So my birthday's coming up, and I usually make an apple pie.
Mm.
This year I'm making a carrot cake because
Ooh.
the recipe I used at Easter was just that good. I might eat the entire thing.
And then
But
she'll make a choice to offset that later,
yeah, I mean,
bringing that
I'm
back
working
around.
out, consistently working out. I won't actually eat the whole cake. I will want to, but I
Yeah.
will not.
Your stomach would
Um,
definitely be like, I am done. Please give me something else than sweet.
so if I have sugar during the day, I definitely feel sick if I don't eat regular like meat and vegetables, healthy foods. Like
Yeah.
that's the way I've always been, and I ate a lot of sugar as a kid. But I do love like the good foods. I love the entertaining. So I'm not sure what we're doing for Thanksgiving this year because at the end of the year, our son graduates. Our daughter just got married. She'll be moving in with her husband. He'll be going on a mission. So we'll be down to 4 kids. So this year we're going to try and be really intentional during the holiday season
Yeah.
since we have our 6 kids for this year. So we're definitely gonna. I think that's what I'm most excited about is all that family time and like just taking care of them and
Good.
doing things for them. What about you?
I do love the fall foods. Now that it was 60 this morning, I'm slowly I'm not ready for the super cold, but I'm happy that it's like slowly moving into it because I was able to do like my running routine in shorts and a tank top still, and it felt like good and nice. But I'm
Hmm.
happy to like slowly move into it because I do enjoy my fall clothing, but I
Hmm.
get really sad when I don't like feel the sun on me anymore. So I'm in that weird thing. But I'm excited for the fall foods. I'm hoping that I can sneak in a time to get to one of the apple orchards out here and go apple
Hmm.
picking. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit more difficult. And whatever it is we decide to do for Thanksgiving, we've ended up turning, ever since we went to Japan, we've ended up turning Thanksgiving into a more unique, like that's where we try to do our travel or spend it with friends and
Hmm.
maybe do another camping adventure where
Yeah, fun.
we use outdoorsy and rent somebody's RV and take it somewhere. So
Hmm.
that might be what we do. I'm excited for that. I'm not looking forward to the 250 burpees that I have to do in November, but I'm working
You
my
don't
way
do
up
burpee
to
pull
it.
ups?
Psh, dude, even when I was training to do pull-ups, I couldn't get an unassisted pull-up. So no, I just do burpees. But my goal is to not, last year because of my injury, I had to do like maybe not quite half, but I had to do modified. I couldn't do the push
Yeah.
up because I couldn't. I do like the CrossFit style burpee, and I couldn't go through
Yeah.
that like wave motion. It hurt my back too much. So my goal this year is to get them, even if it's much slower. My goal is to just do like
Do those.
straight burpees. So I did 50
Did they?
yesterday in sets, and I'm not feeling awful today. I was still able to do my jog today, so I feel like that's a good start. I just got to build that endurance because I think that's the part that's going to suck the most is just like
It should only take you like how long? 20,
I
35, 40 minutes?
yeah, so I've gotten it done in 24 or It was my
Hmm.
fastest. Now, granted, that wasn't 250, that was 247, 46. I
Yeah.
can't remember which year it was. That was the fastest I've gone, is just over 24. So I'm giving myself leeway, like a little bit of
Yeah.
grace this year of like it will take me as long as it needs to take me to get them all.
Yeah.
So but and between now and then it's okay, get a bit more consistent with my running routine, my getting back out there running routine, the bike, doing intermittent burpees throughout the day to try to increase my endurance the best I can so that I can not lose quite so much. We'll see. And keep up with the physical therapy and getting him to reset everything when I totally jack it up. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you like, if you get really far into your burpees and it's like hurting your back, you should do the burpees they had me do when I was very pregnant with Charlotte. I was at a gym and I was like, I don't really want to do burpees with my belly.
Right.
They said, oh, you squat and do a wall push up. So
Okay.
that's a good scale for if you get too far into it and it starts to
Does
really
it really
hurt.
bother me?
But
Okay.
that way you can complete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to finally do it. This is one I've been looking forward to, good or bad, because it's a lot of burpees for a couple of years. Like I knew that this was my end goal. After this year, will if it hurts too bad, I won't push it. But I was like, I have to make it to 250. I have to do that one. So I got to get it through it, and then we'll see what happens next year. But happy early birthday, Marine Corps. I'm setting myself the goal for
It's
250.
like the first in the holidays of the holiday
I
season.
know.
I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too.
It's my favorite time of year for a number of reasons, but like seeing Marines and wishing them a happy birthday, like that's my favorite thing about the Marine Corps birthday ball.
Yeah,
Is like how excited they get. Like watching them celebrate, it truly is one of the greatest things.
it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, we'll try and make this more consistent and be better and just be better in general. But next episode, we're going to do it. We're gonna start our finance
Yes.
series, and we'll kind of focus on finance in the military savings, and then talk a little bit about your children's education because there are actually a lot of benefits, especially once you retire, to benefits for your kids. So,
Yeah. So
yep,
until then, check us out on socials. Hop on and just say hi so we can get that community going. And we'll see you later.
yep.
Bye.
Bye.